Spotting fallacies. Master the art of critical thinking in debates. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to explore an essential aspect of English debates and discussions: identifying logical fallacies. This skill is key to not only understanding and critically evaluating what others say, but also to ensure we're making the most persuasive arguments ourselves. Before we dive into identifying fallacies, we need to grasp what constitutes valid reasoning. When we debate or discuss, we often try to convince others of our viewpoint by presenting logical arguments, which consist of premises leading to a conclusion. If the premises truly lead to the conclusion, we can say the reasoning is valid. Now that we understand what constitutes valid reasoning, let's look at what happens when reasoning isn't so valid. This brings us to the concept of logical fallacies. A logical fallacy is an error in reasoning that renders an argument invalid. It's essentially when the conclusion doesn't logically follow from the premises. Let's now focus on identifying some of the most common logical fallacies you might encounter in English debates and discussions. 1. Ad hominem. This is when someone attacks the person making the argument, rather than the argument itself. 2. Straw man. Here, someone misrepresents their opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. 3. Appeal to authority. This happens when someone argues that their claim is correct because an expert or authority supports it, even when it's irrelevant or the authority isn't reliable. 4. Slippery slope. This fallacy occurs when someone argues that a relatively small first step inevitably leads to a chain of related events culminating in some significant impact, which isn't necessarily the case. 5. False dichotomy. This is when someone presents only two options or solutions when in fact more exist. Remember, these are just a few examples, and there are many more logical fallacies out there. Here comes the challenging part: distinguishing between valid and fallacious reasoning. The key is to focus on the structure of the argument, rather than the content itself. Ask yourself whether the conclusion really follows from the premises, and whether there are any common fallacies present. With time and practice, this will become second nature. Well, that's it for today's video on identifying logical fallacies in debates and discussions. I hope you now have a clearer understanding of what valid and fallacious reasoning looks like. Remember, it takes time and practice to master the art of spotting fallacies. So keep engaging in discussions, keep debating, and keep critically analyzing arguments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.